eat, man.
Hempfest 09.
To the right.
Is that better?
Yeah, that'll.
It's important to make the distinction that drugs don't make seeds, herbs make seeds. And as soon as you make that legal distinction, you find yourself at the first page of the Bible where God's first commandment was so important, he repeated himself on the first page. I've given you every herb-bearing seed, I've given you every green herb. Did you have to say it 3 times? I mean, isn't twice enough?
See my masterpiece tonight.
I don't do a lot of drugs. I do a few drugs a lot. There's a difference. I smoke a lot of weed. We talked about that. I like a little alcohol, a little nicotine, refined white sugar, what I'm trying to quit. Mushrooms as part of my spiritual journey, right? And for certain concerts.
People who show up here at Hempfest, you know, call on their legislators, call on their public officials, demanding their rights. We can have it sooner than later, sooner than we ever believed.
You guys got to donate or we won't be around next year. Donate to Hempfest. We love you all.
That's what we're smoking. Only the gun we dance into we didn't need but all this ain't no joke, yeah, right. Only the gun we dance into what I need. We're smoking at the Hempfest. Only the gun trying to make me feel the best. It puts my ego to rest. You don't believe me, I said. Come on, bring it out with the dub.
We understand you're going to drink, that's college, so do it safely, or use marijuana and you're out of school. And what we're teaching kids is that drinking is a good thing and should be done. Yet, on college campuses, alcohol is contributing to countless problems, just like in our society. Domestic violence, sexual assault, rioting, property damage, overdose deaths, injuries. I mean, every year there are somewhere in the vicinity of 500,000 injuries involving alcohol with college students. There's 70,000 sexual assaults and date rapes. There is, something like 1,700 college deaths associated with it. And these aren't even involving drinking and driving. We're talking about drinking. That's it. Drinking, falling off balconies, getting into fights, and so on. And why on, you just gotta ask yourself, why on earth would any college, any administrator, any government official prefer college students use alcohol versus marijuana, which causes none of those serious problems?
Okay, getting to the trees. I'm going to the trees. I'm going to the trees, folks. I'm going to the trees. Corner, folks. We're coming to the trees. We're going to the trees. We're going to the trees. All right, folks. Watch out. Watch out. Pardon me. Size of the path. Size of the path. Those folks. Watch out, folks. Watch out. Size of the path. Size of the path. Coming on through. Turn that folks.
Because if every person here and every person around the country who supports changing marijuana laws, we're all in unison say, marijuana is safer than alcohol, don't make me drink, I'd rather do something less harmful, we would start to see some traction. If we have parents saying, you better make marijuana legal or you are putting my kid in harm's way because you're driving my kid to drink, we would see some changes. If Michael Phelps stood up at a press conference and said, I'm sorry that I, was a bad role model by breaking the law, but quite frankly, I, was simply using a safer drug, and I think it's appalling that the U.S. Olympic team and our government and every media member who's covered the story thinks that, I did something wrong. I was doing something safer than the substance that is currently co-sponsoring my Olympic team, Anheuser-Busch.
Shoot 10 foot. Oh, my baby, do. So hard to get around. Car broke down.
What that reminds me of, by the way, is Deuteronomy in the Bible. If you look in there, the punishments for sinners that are listed out in the Bible, it is very similar to the penal code for drug violators in the United States. You take all their things, you dehumanize them, you take their children, you eschew them from society, you stone them to death. We also have a death penalty in the United States for 60,000 cannabis plants that qualifies you for a federal death penalty. So you don't even have to think about the substance itself as a spiritual inebriant, but look at the social reaction is almost as if this is being punished by God.
You guys have somebody else trying to direct everybody.
you have the right to grow your own, that makes sure that the marketplace is going to offer you good quality marijuana at a fair price. Personal cultivation is important. I think definitely in your lifetime, I hope in mine, but within 5 years, I think we're going to stop arresting marijuana smokers in this country, and the first few states are going to begin to experiment with legally regulated markets. Now, it's true, by the way, that marijuana smoking increases your appreciation for good food, for good music, and for good sex.
As many people do, when are we going to legalize weed? I wouldn't have told you there was a chance in hell of doing it in my lifetime. Why? Because too many people are making too much money off the way things are. And everything that we have to do requires changing the law. Everything they got to do requires just keeping things the same. But in the last 6 months, the economy has gone down the tubes. The economy has gone down the tubes, and smart people have turned to the tubes. Ladies and gentlemen, right now they are talking about legalization in California. Right now they are talking about medical marijuana in New Jersey. Let me tell you, I live in New Jersey. And there was no way in the world they were going to give us medical marijuana last year. But this year, it looks like it's going to happen. This is the year. This is the day. This is the moment. It wasn't yesterday. It's not tomorrow. It's now. If you want to legalize marijuana, you work for it now. When you work for High Times Magazine, you get asked the same 5 questions all the time. Question number 1. How'd you get your job at High Times Magazine? 2, can I get a job at High Times Magazine? 3, you guys sit around and smoke pot all day? 4, got any pot? 5, what's up with the fake weed?
I just want a sticker!
Well, let me tell you, here's the answers. Luck. No. Sometimes we stand. Get out of here! And I have no fucking idea.
I just want a sticker!
When's the last time you heard somebody say, I didn't mean to beat you, honey, it was the pot? When's the last time you saw somebody rob a bank to satisfy their marijuana addiction? When's the last time you heard about somebody, a pot driver that crashed and killed 11 people? When's the last time you heard about a bum in an alley clutching piss in his pants, clutching a paper bag of joints? It does not happen! It's a lie! Lies! 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 Our government is lying about marijuana. Our government's lying about us. Our government's lying about the drug war. And we're here to give the other side of the story. Give me them! Give me P! All right, you are the greatest audience in the world.
We don't talk with each other as much anymore. I wonder why. Hang on. I got a funny bit about that. That's the truth of it, man. Big Brother got us to watch him. Very smart. But then again, I'm dyslexic, I'm ADD, yes, I'm weird. I'm weird, but I'm saving up to be eccentric. Hey, anybody ever been to Amsterdam? Amsterdam is Euro Disney for adults. Nothing is illegal in Amsterdam. The cops have no purpose. They're walking around like pro wrestling referees. They're, oh, what is this? What are you doing? Oh, smoking dope. Welcome to Amsterdam. Enjoy openly smoking dope. Oh, what is this? What are you doing? Oh, blowjob in the window. Ever been to the Bulldog? Bulldog Cafe? Looks like a normal cafe till you get that menu down to the 3rd page. Oh shit, this is a different menu altogether. You say this is a rosy pecan for unpretentious hashish? Well, I'll have a brick of that, my good man. I held a brick of hash and America never gets the hold. It was like this. I started crying like Miss America. I was like, as I casually walked up. Purpose of my trip, pleasure. He had the passport open. He's like, Mr. Overton, do you have a huge block of hash in your ash? I went, woo, bingo, baby. I thought you'd never ask. Hey, I'm glad the charade is over. Let's remove it now as a team, shall we? Get ice tongs, get a dog. I don't give a shit. Well, be Dutch Customs, we don't give a shit either. Have a nice flight. No, I'm not going to shove a perfectly edible chunk of hash up my ass. I ate the sumbitch in the taxi on my way to the airport. Thanks a lot. Peace. We already won. We just don't know it yet. We already won.
Middle of the ocean, pray for the child that grows up in our time. Something is wrong with this world, we want to modernize. Stop all the fighting and just unite instead of globalize. This is my position, my mission is for the Mother Earth. Corporations stop your polluting, you make our stomach hurt. Recycle up your shirt and work until they realize. Spin up all those wind turbines until we harmonize. Modern technology, oh psychology.
Seattle Hempfest 2009. Last chance to make some noise for tonight.
Last thing I want to say up here before we close it down for the day and ask you all to be safe going home, watch the railroad tracks and drive safe, is the incredible crew, the Hempfest crew, the Hempfest posse. Our people, my people, are the greatest crew in the world, and they're smiling and they're dealing with the intensity and they're dealing with the crowd issues and their voices are going and they've been up all night for a week and they're going to be back here tomorrow. I love the Hempfest staff. It's the best people I've ever worked with. Freedom fighters, every damn one of you. Our ecology crew, man. Ecology crew, you rock! You work harder than anybody in the Hempfest. You pick up all this garbage, you recycle it, you sort through all the trash, and you're proud about it. Man, that's what it's all about. Love you guys. The traffic crew, we have a traffic crew. They're not even inside of the event. They spend all day down on the parking lot at 16th Avenue West in the industrial area down here. The van loading crew, they don't see any of the Hempfest. They're loading in the vans, they're driving in and out, trying to drive those Cushmans through the crowd. It's a nightmare. It's stressful. It's frustrating. People keep putting their foot in front of the wheel because they think that's funny. It scares the shit out of us. It's about freedom. It's about safety. So anyway, I just want to give a call out, man, to all our folks, all the Hempfest staff. You're the best staff in the world. I know it's not over. I know you're drained. I know you're tired. I know it's hard to keep coming back. And it's the loneliest on Monday and Tuesday when there's maybe 50 of us. 50 of us that have to do all of this, man.
Hempfest for life! Woo! Woo! Time to get out, guys. Thank you, Kevin.
Love you guys. Peace. It's about freedom, it's about love. Take care, good night.
I forgot to mention the sound crew.
You're sick of hanging and you think that you'd like to travel?
Like this. I learn everything every year. I'm learning something new.
What if I stay? What if I stay? Go on, sick of you, all your tricks. But would I still be there, drinking your beer?
Circular breathing. So look, if you take one of these, you put in your hand like this, you grab this one right here, you hold it. Hold it tight. Okay, stick your hand out like this. All right, now wiggle your thumb. Did you feel it? You didn't feel this? There's 2 of them. Watch, open up your hand. You got applaud, yeah! Watch, this one's gonna be mine, okay? This one, sweetie, open up your hand. See, you're gonna hold it really, really tight, all right? Now go like this. Did you feel it that time? You didn't feel this again? Open up your hand. Oh! Now look, I'm gonna tell you something. It's not me that does it, it's the balls. Yeah, how many times have you heard that? What it is? You put one in each hand. Okay, come right here. Don't worry. Don't be scared. Not yet. Okay, now stick your hands out like this. All right, now wiggle your thumbs. Now slowly open up your hands. Look, they switched places. That was amazing. Open up your hand. Hold these 2 real tight. All right? Now don't open your hand until I ask you to. Watch, 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 watch. Watch, watch. You know what happened? No. They just turned into 2 little rabbits. No. Now the hard part. Turn it back into 2 little green balls. But see, that's all the time it takes for rabbits to do what they do better. Give her a big hand, ladies and gentlemen.
Not drunk, just drunk in public, not operating a motor vehicle. And it tends to be a discretionary law that if the police, it's like vagrancy or trespassing or loitering. It's like basically the police can sort of decide, well, you're doing one of these laws, you know, just because somebody else had a couple drinks and is walking down the street, you're publicly drunk and you're vagrant and you're loitering because we just don't like you. And so that's about 6% of all arrests in 1994 was public drunkenness.
Many people think that marijuana may be our nation's #1 cash crop. I mean, that's ridiculous. Our #1 cash crop. That's the thing we make the most money off of every year, and it's illegal. It just doesn't make sense.
Lucky me. Lucky me. Lucky me. Oh, lucky me. All right, Steve. Not too happy with me up a good, so I can rub this in dub. Crank me up a loop, we'll be rocking in the deep, deep groove. You just roll it.
We were asked to write a speech for my English class, you know. It was supposed to be persuasive, and they said choose any topic you want. You know, even like a controversial one, they're like, that's good, we like that. So I picked legalizing marijuana. And you know, I decided to work on this, you know, for a couple months ahead of time. And in that 2 months, I started smoking a lot of pot, because I figured I'd have to try it out, you know, write my essay. And, you know, I began to love the stuff, you know, like, yeah, it's good, you know. And I read into the laws and everything because I was researching for my paper, and I realized it's all bullshit, you know, so it's something to believe in, right? And so then I was asked to give my speech in front of 150 kids and like 4 teachers in the auditorium of my school. And I started my speech, and midway through it, I decided to pull out a joint out of my dreads, and I sparked it up and lit it, you know, supporting the cause. And yeah, so the speech went on, nothing really happened, and I just kept on smoking it. I finished my speech and went backstage and, you know, finished the rest, and finally got taken out by the cop and was arrested and sent straight to Raymond Hall. I don't advise anyone to smoke pot and try and get arrested, you know, because that's not good advice, but I would say, you know, civil disobedience is the way to go. But as far as what's happened to me is I was arrested, you know, and I was charged with possession of marijuana. But they offered me what's called diversion court, which is like an alternative to district court. And I went up with 3 council members, you know, and had an interview with them or whatever, and they decided all I had to do was a 2-day class, and then I have to write a speech and give it. So, and I get the charges wiped, so I mean, I'm happy with that.
Now you will never $100 a year? Who does $100 a month? Yeah. Who does $100 a week on pot? Okay. I'm looking for 10% of that today. Just $10 on what you spend in 1 week.
I smoke pot and I like it a lot. I'm a 65-year-old lawyer, and I first smoked pot in 1965 when I was a freshman at Georgetown Law School. I've been a regular smoker ever since, and I want to tell you there's nothing wrong with smoking pot.
Give me a goddamn H! There we go, give me a E! Give me a M! Give me a P! 5! What? 2! Go! Let's go! 20! Oh my God! Look at you guys. Now all of you guys be safe. That's right. Because there's plenty of honey for everybody, I'm sure. Everybody brings it. You guys share with your brothers. Bring in that Seattle fog like only you guys know how to do. Oh my God, look at that, Rick. I mean, I'm telling you, here comes the fog.
What are you gonna do? You waited for 420. All right, you got 420. You know what you do at 421? You change the marijuana law. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna walk out of this session and we're gonna change the marijuana law. Why? Because we are winning.
I gotta love you guys for showing up though and making this happen. Come on, I know that Seattle fog's not done yet either. You guys, that's right, you're gonna burn it up all here. And I'll tell you, remember when we go out there, we're gonna be respectful of those police because they're the ones who allow all this to happen.
All that you have to do is dream. All you have to do is call out. Tell me your life just death in the skies, eyes of heaven to burn in your mind. A sign of a time when ends with deep. Old friends will stop and grin. The wisest words of wisdom were believed to be the sin. And I don't understand, but I feel like I should when you're drowning in madness. No, but you know having this feel, no having a thought, heaven or hell. How you forgot that? And I will be the one to save you. And even if you believe that nothing's free, well, I'll set you free.
I want to thank again all the activists that have come on. I want to all the volunteers.
We get some complaint emails about people who bought our CD and got pregnant. So this might be why. All right. Either that or our songs just inspire love. Yeah. That's so bad. All right. I feel fertile tonight. Are you game? Play your cards right and I won't take your name. I just want your baby. It's not like it's your Mercedes. I'm so hungry for you. I could eat for two. Knock me up if you love me. Knock me up. Knock me up if you don't. If you don't ever want it, then I want it, baby. Knock me up.
things for a while, and the first ones I came to, the person who spoke that had the things that were most meaningful to me to say was Jack Hare. And there were two things he said, and the first is that marijuana is not going to re-legalize itself. It's not going to happen. You know, democracy is not a spectator sport. You have to get involved if you want to see change. The other thing he said was that, you know, stoners will pay almost any amount for a good bag of weed, and we'll drop 10 cents for drug policy reform. Nothing is free in this world, friends, and that includes drug policy reform, includes this gathering. As Philippe said at the beginning, you know, it's free to come into, but it's not free to put on. Please kick down into these barrels. Please get involved with organizations, volunteer your time, and to the extent you're able to, contribute funds as well.
Motherfucker got fucked up 'cause he got in the way. Not a lot of things to say, still. Motherfucker got in the way, still. Motherfucker got fucked up 'cause he got in the way. Come on, everybody. Motherfucker got fucked up 'cause he got in the way. Not a lot of things to say. Motherfucker got in the way, still. Motherfucker got fucked up 'cause he got in the way. Let not another motherfucker cross my path. I'm feeling kinda crazy like a psychopath. And you don't wanna cross me when I feel this way.
We thought that we might get some real change, but what it looks like we're getting is some spare change. So what I would like folks to do is put on one last really big push, dig down deep, and put pressure on this administration and on these politicians at this moment in time, and we might get the real change we need instead of the spare change we seem to be getting.
Legalize marijuana in Seattle first, you know.
Hell yeah.
We definitely support it.
We've been waiting for it.
We're all the best. Yes, we do. Best Pacific Northwest. That's what I heard. We have the best weed in the world. So, yeah.
Child, the whole human history is a line of type in the file. Live your life in denial and try to live on your own without the color TV, heat, the fridge, and the phone. By the average guy lives an elaborate lie. Waste states on slave weight beneath them passionate eyes. We ovulate, copulate, and overpopulate. Never stop to think about the things that we were taught to hate. Now the stage is set. Watch the players place a bet. Take a sec, shake your head, feel alive, make them sweat. Realize the system can exist without belief. Appreciate true potential and twist your mouth and speak. We're working on building a world of children until the end. Understand I can't be free while we're still in this prison. I can spend my days preaching, so on and so forth, but it won't change till we don't want to go on no more. Think about it, we can't just sing about it. We can't just sit around and wait until they finish out. We figure out where we're going while we're living down. If you want my truth, listen now and just think about it. Think about it is we can't even think about it. Can't afford a minute time to figure how to bring about a change. So take a second and shake your head and then take a step ahead and think about it. See, the thing about it is we can't just sing about it. We can't just sit around and wait until they thin us out. We figure out where we're going while we're living down. If you want my truth, listen now and just think about it. The thing about it is we can't even think about it. Can't afford a minute time to figure how to bring about a change. So take a second and shake your head and then take a step ahead and think about it. Peace.
Thank y'all. Have a good day.
Our work is not done. We got a long way to go. We got to demand that the government stop lying to us and that the government start accepting science and the government give us the freedom we deserve.
We just went through the worst 8 years of America. We got out of it. Now change is in the air. This is the time to ramp it up, man. We can win this thing. We can win it. But we got to do it smart. All right? And so it already looks cleaner. Thank you so much, man. That's why Hempfest happens. Because we all work together to make this happen as a community. It's a family reunion every year. Thank you so much. That concludes the Seattle Hempfest 2009.